because you're always gonna find someone more successful, more good looking, more like smarter. Like it's always gonna find someone better than you. So if you're gonna be comparing yourself to others, good luck with that. You like if you think you're gonna find someone, like if you're gonna be better than other people, then you'll never be happy because you're never gonna achieve that level of perfection. Let's put it this way, which is like it's similar to perfectionism too. Like try to be perfect in everything you can be. It's just so stressful.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm Veronique.
And I'm Silvia.
Welcome to the High Vibes and the Mind podcast,
where multicultural moms connect. Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. High Vibes and a Mic. I'm Silvia and I'm here with Veronique. How are you, Veronique?
Good. Hi, Silvia. Hi, everyone.
So today we are going to talk about ways that we can sabotage our happiness. I'm sure everyone has done that or still doing it. And we have a few signs that you're sabotaging your happiness, and you'd like to know if you agree or not, if you're also going through the same thing, if you also do those things. So Veronique, do you do that to yourself? Do you sabotage your happiness? Would you do that to yourself?
I think less and less. I think that's something you learn, as you mature. As a young person, for sure, I'm sure everybody did it. I have many stories, many examples, but yeah, I think now when I'm feeling negative or when I'm thinking about something way too much negative, I start questioning myself and I start asking myself, why am I doing this? Why am I thinking like this? I shouldn't think like this because my life is quite good right now. Okay. We all have our bad times and good time. And in good time, I shouldn't think of myself or anybody else or anything, really negative. It should go over my head. So I think sometimes you're afraid. We had this conversation in another podcast, but I think you are sometimes afraid to be too much happy because you're afraid you're going to lose it. And that's one of my problems. Sometimes when everything is too good to be true, my subconscious, I don't know, is waking up and saying, hey girl, I think it's too good to be true. Something wrong has to happen.
Or you have to find something bad, like to say like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
but I'm dealing with this bad thing, so it's not all wonderful.
Exactly. So for me, would be maybe, the fear of losing, my happiness. And so if I know something wrong is going to happen, it means that I'm not perfectly happy. And then it's okay. I'm not going to lose it. The situation is not perfect, but I can still, keep what I have.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of people are like that. They are afraid to be happy.
Yeah. You also get so attached to certain things that's one way actually to be afraid to be happy and to sabotage your happiness. Because when you are too attached, that's like when you talked about it, about being afraid of losing, it made me think about being overly attached to things, because then you worry about losing those things. And once you detach from it, which it's something that is very important to do, but it's hard. Once you detach from it, you don't have that. You feel like it's okay. I mean, if you have to go, you go. Like if I am supposed to keep it, I'll keep it. But then when you can keep that distance, then you're gonna be okay. You're just like, okay, I'm happy and I love you, but I'm detached. Like, I'm not like clinging to you, like I cannot lose you. It's okay. Or when you think about kids leaving, like when they go to college and they go away, or like things like, what if they decide, I don't know, marry like a nasty person and you don't see them, or things like that. But at the same time, or you and your husband, what if something happens, right? Like you're having a good relationship with it, but that's when you are way too attached. So when you're trying to cling to things, and you shouldn't do that. You just have to be confident enough that you're enough and that you have that good relationship, and each one of you have your own space, and you're free to make your own decisions and to follow your own path. So I think it's important to have that understanding of each one of us have different paths, and then once you don't get too like attached, then it's easier to set yourself free and become happier too, you know.
Well, talking about my husband, once he told me something I still remember. I was very attached to the career I had before when I was living in Europe, in England. I was working for an airlines, and for me, that was always the best, job of my life. I really had fun. I was making a lot of money. I was really happy, and I got really attached to that. So when I moved here, I tried to have the same career. I really wanted to work for an airlines. I applied to a lot of airlines. I had a lot of interviews, but then I saw that actually the pay here wasn't really the same. They don't pay well when you work at the ground floor here. But I was still going to all those interviews. Then my husband was telling me, Veronique, we live in California here. You need to make a certain level of money to be able to live here. And he told me, I think it's time to let go of the airlines industry. And for me, there was no way. I was still set on work for the airline industry. And he told me, Veronique, you have to let that go. I think you could do so many things here in California. You can have so many different jobs. I think it's time for you to let go of that dream. Not that dream, but that set of mind to work for an airline. And it was really hard for me to let it go. Very hard. But then I had to. And it was a good thing because I did so many things after. I met so many people, and and it brought me, to do that now that podcast. So I'm really happy that I didn't get attached, that I listened to him. It was a good advice.
Yeah.
Not to let, my past behind, and not to get attached too much what I was doing before.
Yeah, for sure. That's a huge one. Because then once you let go of that, you just see things happening. Yeah, things are gonna, fall into place, and it will work out in the end, always, most of the time. And another way that you can sabotage your happiness is when you compare yourself to others. I think that is
Yeah.
because you're always gonna find someone more successful, more good looking, more like smarter. Like it's always gonna find someone better than you. So if you're gonna be comparing yourself to others, good luck with that. Like if you think you're gonna find someone, like if you're gonna be better than other people, then you'll never be happy because you're never gonna achieve that level of perfection. Let's put it this way, which is like it's similar to perfectionism too. Like try to be perfect in everything you can be. It's just so stressful. Just the thought of try to do everything like exactly like, oh no, it's gonna be. You do the best that you can, always making a good effort. It can be sloppy, like you do the best that you can, but expect that it's gonna be perfection, or it's gonna be the best of everyone around you, because you're comparing with other people and you're trying to be bigger and better than. That doesn't lead to happiness for sure. You just need to. Again, I think it's all about being confident and really not worrying about what other people think about it. And it's a hard one not to worry about what other people think. I think like sometimes I always catch myself like, oh, did I say the right thing? Did I I should have not said it? And a lot of times people are not even paying attention to that. They're not even, they're like, what are you talking about? So it's just in your head, this thing.
Yeah.
Like it's you with your own demons thinking that this person is saying this and this about you, or that you feel like you're inferior, or you're comparing like, oh, they have all this and I don't have any of that, or it's just not a healthy way to pursue happiness, the comparison and worrying about other people think and things like that. What do you think?
I never understood the point of comparing yourself to somebody else. And to be honest, since I was really young, I never did that. But I was inspired by people. I had this very close friend, and the relationship she had with her boyfriend for like 20 years, I was looking at them and I was like, oh, I want something like that. But I wasn't comparing, myself to her, because we were also kind of very similar, but I was really admiring relationship. It wasn't like envious. It wasn't jealousy or anything like that, because he was really good to her. And let's say his name was James, okay? And I was always thinking, and I was even telling her, and I'm like, I hope one day I'm going to find my James. because the way he was with her, adoring her and everything for her, and she was adoring him. And I was thinking, yeah, I really want something like that. So for me personally, I was never the type of person to compare myself to other people, but always when I see someone that had a good thing, that would motivate me. And finally,
Mm-hmm.
when I find my gems with my husband now, that friend, she was still in my life at that time. She told me, oh, finally, she said, oh, you find your there's an expression in French. I don't think that's the same in English, but she said, oh, you finally find the cover to your pot. When you have a pot and you
Mm-hmm.
cover it, like I'm the
Mm-hmm.
pot is the cover. So she said, you
Yeah.
finally find him, because she knew he was for real. So yeah, no, comparing yourself to other people is such a waste of time. Such a waste of
Yeah.
time. And after a while, you will see. I think people who continue to do that in their old age, what a waste of time. Can't
Mm.
you
Yeah.
realize that it's not working out for you, and that you might never achieve what this person is doing, because that's
And
their path. Your path is different.
deep inside, you're always thinking you're inferior to these other people because
Oh,
you're comparing, but you're deep inside. In my mind, I think that you think you're
hmm,
inferior to them. So it's just otherwise you don't be worried about comparing. Like you don't be in that competition.
yeah.
If you're comfortable with yourself and happy with everyone's situation. I just what you said about being like admiring a nice relationship. I did
Hmm.
the same thing. I remember being like that with friends who had way more money than I had. That we would go
In,
and
in
never
in
going to
Rio, right?
places in Rio, not only in Rio, here
Hmm.
in the US. Like when I
Oh,
moved
okay.
here, I didn't have much money, working as a nanny or working like like friend finder. Didn't just not making much money in those places. But I
Hmm.
had very wealthy friends who would take me to yacht club in San Francisco, like nice places. Do you think I ever felt like, oh, I don't belong here? Or never.
Oh, I
I
do.
would always like, yes, I do. I would totally embrace it, have fun with them, have foie gras, have nice wine, champagne. Had the best time of my life every time I went there. And I had a Brazilian friend who went with me one time. She didn't react the same way. And I'll never
Really?
forget that. That was like, what, more than 20 years? No, 15 years ago. And I could clearly see that she was uncomfortable being there. She was uncomfortable because well, she didn't have money, but she's in this
Okay.
place with all these wealthy people, and you could see she wasn't herself. She didn't know how to. And I'm like, why are you acting like this? Like, why are you being? Never again. Was never invited, and she has a very different life even from what I have now. She's still at the same place that she was
Hmm.
back then. Because some people just feel like, okay, I'm comparing myself to these people. They have more than me, so that means I'm way lower and I can't get there because you're feeling
Nah.
insecure or whatever you are feeling. You're just not gonna move up. You're just gonna stay where you are. If you feel insecure, or there's another situation to that. Recently, I was with this person. I'm not gonna mention who, at my friend's party, and
Hmm.
this friend has lives very well, like has a very comfortable life. And when we were there, and she has all these other friends that are super, like like almost like Real Housewives, like all blondes and everything. I get in there and like I don't care, let's have a drink, let's hang out. But the person who was with me, I could feel that she was again. It was that same vibe of the yacht club,
Ah.
being uncomfortable. Like, why are you being uncomfortable or self-conscious of even they're asking, oh, are you do this for living? And she didn't like that the person, my friend, asked what she was doing for a living. She felt like her job position is inferior. She's like, why did she have to ask that in front of everybody? I'm like, because
What?
that's what you do for a living. Like
Don't
what are
you like
you
your
talking?
job?
Yeah, like, are you embarrassed? Why are you? The person didn't think about like putting you down. It's you.
Hmm.
Like, I didn't say anything because I'm like, leave it alone. But I was thinking about that later. It's you who are putting yourself down. It's not this other person. She just made up like, oh, you are the one who works at this place, or you do this thing. And my friend didn't like that. So
What she tell you after that she didn't like it?
yeah,
She told you after that she didn't like
yeah.
that they
I
asked
don't
what
like.
she was
Oh, I don't
doing?
like her friend because she asked me, yeah, if oh, it's because she said like, oh, you're the one who does this and that, and she didn't like it. And I'm like, well, but that's what you do.
You have a chip on your shoulder, girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, like, relax. If you want to go further in life and advance, I'm sorry, this is the wrong attitude to have. It's
Yeah,
just
fake
not
it
the right
until you make
attitude.
it.
Yeah. Why
Fake
do you?
it until you make it.
It's so much in your head too, like to think like the person is, like, why do you think you're so unworthy? Like for you to put
Yeah.
yourself down because the other person couldn't care less. You just like said like, oh yeah, you do this and this. That was it.
Just to make conversation,
Yeah. Or
maybe.
like, oh, you are the person. Almost like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you are the one that I've heard that you work with this, or
Mm-hmm.
that's all that it was. Not with an intention of insulting or putting anyone down, but it's
Yeah.
all in your head. So get rid of that. Otherwise, it's hard to be happy, like that,
Yeah.
with that attitude.
And some people, I remember also that this fun I had in high school. Is this guy to self-sabotage himself. Oh, best example in the world. This guy was the first student in the class, good in math, good in everything, languages, good in everything. He was even a little bit bullied because he was so good, right? And he could have gone very, very far in life. And at the end, you have to have your high school diploma. You know what happened? He didn't even go to the exam. He was scared that
Oh,
he was gonna fail or he was gonna have it, and like fear of success, we'll say maybe. He didn't even go. So he never had his high school diploma. Me, I went, didn't get it the first time. By the way, I
oh,
missed it by 2 points. I was so mad. Missed it by 2 points. I'm like, okay, whatever. The year after, I left for Germany when I was an au pair girl. That's another episode that you ladies can check out.
mm-hmm.
You can scroll down to the episode about me being an au pair in Germany. So I went back and I went back to get my high school diploma on my own. You can do it, you don't have to go back to school. You can just go and take the exam on your own. And I got it. And so I asked him, are you going to do it? Because this guy wanted to be a nurse. And he really had, it was really vocational for him. That's what he loved, to help people. And that was really what he was supposed to do. This guy, until, I don't know what he's doing now because we stopped talking, but I think that was 10 years ago, he was still not a nurse because he's just missing a high school diploma. That's
Of
what he's
course, he's
missing.
not gonna be a nurse without a. You need a college degree, let alone a high school
Yeah,
diploma.
you need the high school diploma for the government because the government will pay for your study actually because after you can work for them in the public hospital. But you need that for them to pay for 4 years study after to be a nurse. But you need the high school diploma. He never want to take it. He never. So now it's just like the nurse help. So he works at the
Wow. How can
hospital,
he even
but he's
find
not a
a
nurse.
How can he even find a job without a high school diploma? I'm
Oh, but
impressed.
you should just no. You can work at the hospital without a high school diploma. You just you change the beds. You help
Uh,
lift lift the patient. You change the sheets and stuff like that. You mop the floor. That
oh,
you don't need a high
like
school
a
diploma to do
cleaner?
that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a cleaner, but it's just like helping the nurse. But it doesn't do any injection. It doesn't give any medication. It
Thank
doesn't do
God.
anything like that.
Oh my God.
But this is so
Gee.
stupid. This is so stupid. That's something you can go anytime and you can take it on your own anytime you want, that diploma. It's so stupid.
No,
That test. You can just
he
go and take that test.
he probably just wants to stay where he is.
And that's
No
really, how can
ambition.
you sabotage yourself like that? You really want to
Hmm.
sabotage. The real sabotage, your life. Really
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. How about those people who love drama in their lives? Have you met any that love drama?
Yes, remember the one who cried at my wedding?
Oh
Queen of
yes.
drama. This
Mhm.
one, the queen of drama. This girl, I never understand. Every time she was calling me when I moved here, so she stayed in France. Every time she was calling me, it was for a drama story. She could
Oh,
never call me, and she was calling me several times during the week, by the way. She could never call me to tell me, hey, how are you doing? How is your life? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Work is fine. Kids are fine. Never. There was always something. My ex did this. My job, they just, I had to quit that job or they just fire me. I lost my apartment. I have this. I have that. And on top of this, of course, all of that, she has health issue. She got
oh, of
cancer.
course.
And I'm sure she got cancer she got cancer because, okay, maybe it's not her fault she got cancer. But sometimes, you're so stressed, you can cause it to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was so
Yeah.
always stressed out. Then she beat it. So thank God she was in remission and everything. She beat it. But even after that, it was drama after drama, and I couldn't take it anymore. We had to break up. We had to break up. So you already know, you already know the story. I already told you the story.
Yeah.
If the listener wants to know, we have an episode about toxic friends, and you can go and listen
And
to
you
it.
can listen to
And
it.
my God,
Yeah.
that was way too much.
It's
People,
just it's just like looking to be in toxic relationships, almost like, or just the gossiping, or I don't know, looking for like crisis and like drama and things to talk about. I don't know, but it's definitely, you're pushing yourself further and further away from happiness when you're every time constantly you're talking to someone on the phone and you're telling awful stories. One day, one like one story worse than the other, like every day, every time. It's draining for the person who's listening to, and to yourself too. And like you're saying, yeah, you can get sick as well. You can definitely can get sick. I remember a friend of mine also doing that over the phone every time, like, oh, it's awful and nobody's helping me and it's
Mm.
life is miserable. And it's just so, it's like, if you think life is so awful and miserable, how do you think you're gonna live in this planet? Like, it's just it's such a wrong attitude. Like, like, you can't switch that. Sometimes, of course, there are events that are very tough that you're gonna vent, but if
Yeah.
it's a constant thing that you're constantly saying that you're miserable and everybody sucks and life is unfair and all of that, or like we have someone that we know, um, from, well, I'm not gonna say from where because I don't know if
Yeah.
they're gonna. But anyway, this lady who
Yeah.
has so much drama every time. It's a crazy story that it's almost like unbelievable, like Jerry Springer's like type of story, like those shows. It's
Really?
insane. The son has to like slept with this woman who cheated on him twice.
Mm-hmm.
Probably even the first child is not his. The second, he still took her back. They had another child, so they have two children. But she was started cheating on him again, maybe with the same guy that she was cheating on him before. And he even wanted to do a DNA test and everything. So she kicked him out, like she's out. Now this woman has her son and two grandchildren living under her roof. The son
What?
is almost like a useless person because he's like, oh, I can't work because of I'm an anxious person, some emotional thing, like, so he's not working, and he's on food
Oh.
stamps and disability. So, and
And the kids are with her? What
with
about the
with
mom?
yeah, the mom disappeared. She's like, no, thank you. She's with a
How can
boyfriend. She
you
doesn't wanna. So
how can you
yeah.
leave your kids? Oh no, I
And
couldn't.
now
How can you leave your
the
kids?
grandmother, this woman, she's the one taking care of the
Mm.
grandchildren. And then
Wow.
and now this, I mean, the stories are endless. And then she had this cancer scare. In the end, thank God it wasn't cancer, but she had to do a major surgery to remove the tumor. And right after that, she falls down and breaks her arm, and and then she's
Oh
called like,
my
oh, and by the
God.
way, I broke my arm. I need surgery on my arm now because it was a big fracture. It's just constantly one story crazier than the other, of the house almost being set on fire because this and that happened.
What?
It's insane. And drugs, that the son likes to use drugs. And
She needs to see an exorcist.
I
That's what
know,
she needs to
like,
do.
woman, stop. And she likes to talk a lot. And it's almost,
Hmm.
when you're listening to it and to the stories, it's almost like she has pleasure talking about those stories. You know how weird that is, like sick. So please, listeners out there, don't do that to yourself. It's just you're attracting misery to our lives if you do that. It's just
Oh
not
yeah.
good.
It's
Constantly
like you're
just.
manifesting the drama yourself. I mean, in her case, it's not really her fault. There's a lot of fault of her son, okay, with
But
that
she's
woman.
enabling him too, and
But
he's
yeah,
living
she's
under her
enabling.
roof. She enables him with the drug situation, with a lack of work and
Wow.
motivation to work. And yeah, so she's clearly bringing that to herself. She has part of it. She's involved. She has her own blame in this whole story. Let her son come with the girlfriend and live in the apartment under her roof where she's paying for everything. So
What?
it's just those
People are.
stories that are like, oh my goodness, please stop.
Yeah.
Reset. You need to
So
reboot and let's start all over again. Let's start all
reset.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if do you have anything else to talk about? Ways to sabotage your happiness?
There was one also that I was thinking. I don't know if you've ever felt that imposter syndrome,
Oh,
because
yes. Yeah, that's a big one. Mhm.
I felt it, when I got that job once at a big tech company. I'm not going to say the name. And they hired me only on my resume with no interview, because they were like,
Uh-huh.
they're like, get this, we need somebody right now. And I kind of manifested it also. And I got the job with no interview. They just read my resume. But when I was there, there was like zero training. And the first few weeks, I'm like, do I even belong here? This company is huge. This is one of the first, big company in America, in the world. I don't even know if I belong in that team. They didn't even give me an
Mhm.
interview or anything like that. And to be honest with you, I could do the job. No problem. After a few months, I was doing the job, no issue. But I almost sabotaged myself because I really doubted myself, because I didn't have the whole interview being rejected. And after, okay, you can do the job and all those, blah, blah, you have to sell yourself. It was so easy. I felt like I didn't belong them. Like, no,
Uh-huh.
this is not possible. I cannot be in here doing that job that I really wanted with that big pay, that good pay. This is not me. So I don't know if you got that, they call imposter syndrome for anything. It could
Yeah,
be relationship, it could be,
the situation is too good for you. Like you're
yeah,
not good enough to be doing that. I was like, who do you think you are to think you belong here?
you don't
Mhm.
belong here. I felt
Yeah.
that for a few weeks after, when I saw the job, I'm like, I can do that, But for the first few weeks, oh, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
weird. So better to avoid those thoughts.
Yeah, don't do that. If you get the job, ladies, you get the job. You got the job for a reason. It means that you can do it. If you got the man, it's also for a reason. You got that man because he wants you. And if you got the apartment, the house or whatever, or good kids, because you deserve it. So don't
Yeah.
sabotage yourself
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
that it's not yours, you don't belong here, or you don't deserve it.
Or even like when that makes you think about when people give you compliments and like, oh no, 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 it's not. Take the compliment, accept it, and be proud, of
Mm-hmm.
hearing like something that someone saying something nice to you about something
Yeah.
you did or about your appearance, whatever, or your family. Just be like,
Mm-hmm.
thank you. Yeah, yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can resist to even like compliments. It's crazy, huh? Like some
I
people like,
know.
oh wow, it's so weird, but yeah, we do that. We all do things like that. So
Especially women also, right?
yeah, women, I think men, and yeah, it can be any
Men
type of
too?
compliment, like
Mm.
or like, oh, you have a great, like you're doing so well financially, or you're doing so. Oh
Mm-hmm.
no, it's not. Like thanks, but like you, some people are
Trying
gonna
to be
be like,
humble.
yeah, yeah. So like, okay, thanks, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah. I mean,
actually. Thanks.
embrace it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
work hard.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but some people, I think it's a cultural thing too. Because some
Yes.
cultures you like to play it down, like you don't want to be like the people to know that you're doing well. It's definitely a cultural thing. In Brazil, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot like that.
In France
Um,
too.
and I think in Ireland it's the same way.
If you make
And
money, you're
it's
evil.
crazy. Yeah, so
But
evil,
here
huh?
it's like, I'm making good money. That's fine.
Thank God. Yeah, I feel
Completely
bad for
different.
people who think it's
Yeah.
evil. They'll never have money if they think it's evil.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another episode also.
It's yeah, the happy money episode.
Happy
Wow,
money
a lot of episodes in one episode. We
in
talked
one
about a lot of
episode.
different. Yeah, so I think this is it then.
Yeah.
I think we covered a lot of ways that you can sabotage your happiness, and
Mm-hmm.
I hope you can take something from this and make the changes. If you can make
Yeah.
changes and avoid doing whatever you think is not working for you to achieve happiness. I hope we can do that, because we always have to be on alert. Always try to be like, well, correct this. Like, always.
Mhm.
It's a constant work, right? It's a work in progress. Just try to get better and better.
Constant fight.
Constant
Fight
fight,
myself.
yeah.
Don't think
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for listening, all of you, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. This way you can get the new episode every Monday, every Wednesday. We have a new episode. We're gonna have a guest soon also, and don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, Instagram. We have Instagram now, and also we have a YouTube channel that you can follow and get the clips.
Yes. Thank you. And can also check our website if you want to see what's
Yeah.
going on there. We have some updates on the website. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to High Vibes and a Mic. Until next time, laugh hard, stay silly, and never forget to bring your sense of humor. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.